Who's ready to crush this? Yes? Good. Good. All right, so what I want to go over now is kind of what I see as 7 or 8 of the biggest blocks to most people succeeding in this business, really any entrepreneurial endeavor at all. Starting your own business, growing your own business, really growing your own business, turning it really, really big. And I want to reframe a lot of these ideas for you and show you kind of the truth about them. Is that cool? Yeah? Okay, I think it should be really valuable for a lot of you here. So one of the first biggest problems that most people face is a fear of rejection. A fear of what? Rejection. A fear of rejection. So what did we say before about rejection? Right? You usually create it. Right? You usually create it because you go in rejecting yourself and it causes the other person to actually close up a little bit. And that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where they end up rejecting you. All right? I always say, like, should you fear a fear of rejection? No. What you should fear is not knowing. Right? What you should fear is not knowing. Instead of, like, I don't want to go for it. What if I get rejected? What if they don't want me? What if she doesn't like me? What if he doesn't like me? What if they say no? Instead of any of that, you should fear, what if I never find out? What if the answer was yes, but I never found out because I never went for it? Like, don't fear rejection. Fear not knowing. The other part of it is you never want to reject yourself. Let the marketplace reject you for you. I am well aware the marketplace will not want everything I want. Do you think everything I've ever sold? No, you just know about the ones that I sold because I brag about them. Okay? I'll talk about the shit in my graveyard. I'm not doing that. I got a brand to protect. I get it. No, I talk about them a lot. I talk about my failures as much as I talk about my successes. But yeah, there's a lot of products I sell that no one ever wants to buy. Especially with how often I test different offers. I test ideas and offers all the time. Right? Knowing that a lot of them will not work. I have no problem with that. I want to get rejected as much as I can with all my different ideas because I know what? One of them is going to hit pretty soon. And when one hits, what do I do with it? I scale it up. Yeah. All our resources, boom, we're going on this super hard right now. Speed of urgency, speed of implementation. All right? So the other part about this is this is like the shit they should have taught us in school. They don't even teach us in business school. All right, but they should have. This marketer sucks. Is that in any marketplace, I don't care what industry that you're in, at any given time, 50% of that marketplace will not buy what you offer. They will never buy what you offer. They are tire kickers. They just aren't buyers. They're just not going to do it. All right. They actually did a survey on this. This really, really big marketing agency. They did a full survey, and they went to. It was actually like not a plumbing expo, but like a faucet expo. Right. This giant expo where people were there with sinks and faucets and kitchen appliances and things like that. And they surveyed everyone there, and then they followed up 3 months later, 6 months later, 18 months later. Like for years, they followed up on all this. And what they found is actually been applied to all these other industries, and they found it to be the same for all of them. And what they found is that let's say 1,000 people were at this faucet fair looking at faucets and stuff. 500 of them, or 50%, never bought a faucet. They just went because, I don't know, something to do. They're not in the market. They're never going to be in the market. They're tire kickers. They're just not going to buy. All right? 50% of your prospects, your marketplace, will never buy from you. They'll never respond to your marketing messages. They're just not interested. All right? Of the remaining 15%, the remaining 50%, excuse me, of that, which is roughly 7.5%, of the remaining 50%, 15% of them are ready to buy now. And when I say now, I mean like now. Like in the next 0 to 90 days, they're ready to buy now. And in fact, if you put a good offer in front of them, they would buy it this moment. All right? 7.5% of the total, or 15% of this half. That means the other 42.5%. What about them? All right, these people here, I'll put this in a different color for you. These people will buy sometime between the next 3 and 18 months. How long?
3 to 18 months.
Yep, 3 to 18. And these people in the 7.5%, they're going to buy when? The next 0 to 90 days. Okay? 7.5% of the marketplace ready to buy now, between now and the next 90 days. You put a right offer in front of them, you say the right words, the right copy to them, they say yes. All right? 42.5% will buy 90 days to 18 months out. They're not quite ready, right? They need some more information. They need a little time to think about it, right? Maybe they're just not ready yet. They're close to it, but they're not ready yet. They're waiting for some big life event to happen that will then make buying this thing necessary, but not yet. And the other half will never buy. If you know this to be true, which we do, what does this tell you about people who reject you, so to speak? It's relevant. Kind of irrelevant. Also, like, if you get rejected, like, it's really egotistical of you. If you think you got rejected, like you had anything to do with it. Like, do you really think you had anything to do with the rejection when you're selling? No. Look at it. Like, people are going to buy when they're going to buy. Selling isn't so much about, like, using persuasion to force them to buy now when they didn't want to. It's about timing, right? It's about timing it right with these people here, sorting through and attracting and finding these people here who are ready to buy now, finding these people as well, but putting them on a slow burn of marketing, staying in touch with them, sending them information, circling back often, waiting for that fuse to get down to explosion, right? And also finding out who are these 50% as fast as you can so you don't waste any of your time with them, right? So to think like getting rejected is a bad thing, that's crazy. First of all, you get rejected, most likely that was someone from this side who was never going to buy from you anyways. Make sense? Yes? Yes. Okay. It's a green one. Yeah. So we call this, just remember, the 1585 rule. All right, we call it the 1585 rule. The reason being is if you got rid of this 50% and you're like, because here's the thing, 100% of the people who are going to buy from you, they only exist on that half. Do they not? Correct. Right? So 15% are ready to buy now. 85% are ready to buy next 90 days to 18 months. Okay? So rejection is like, it's not even a thing. Right? It's just not even a thing. Does that help you guys with rejection? Understanding this? Yes? Okay, any questions about rejection right now? Cool. All right, cool. Let's keep going. All right, number 2. So a lot of people are concerned that they are not an expert. Right? Especially like if I'm telling you you're going to do this Instagram thing, you're going to be an IG agent, and you're like, I'm not an Instagram expert. Who here has ever felt like you're selling something to someone, but you don't feel like an expert at the thing, and you kind of pull your punches. You don't sell as hard as, like if you knew you were the best person at the world at this thing and they needed what you had because they'd be foolish to go with anyone else, how hard would you sell? Like their life depended on it, right? Because you don't feel like an expert, you're like, when they say no, or no thanks, or I'll talk to you later, or let's circle back in a couple weeks, part of you is like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I don't know what the fuck I was going to do if they said yes. For those of you, the cue is jump and trust the chute will open. All right, jump and trust the chute will open. All right, so anyways, yeah, I'm not an expert. Here's maybe the most important thing when it comes to realizing this, all right? In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. All right, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. What I mean by that, you're not an expert according to who? You're not an expert compared to Jason Capital? Sure, right? Are you an expert at copy compared to someone who knows nothing about copy? Yeah. In the land of the blind, you don't even need to be like this much better than them. How much better do you need to be than someone? Just that much. Just that much, that's it. Just more than they know. Just more than they know. Just outrun them. Don't outrun the bear. Yeah. Bears are fast, all right? Don't do that. The land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And here's the thing. By the time that we are done tomorrow, you will know infinitely more about Instagram and how to do it for businesses and driving traffic and customers and DM and all that stuff than the owner will ever know, or will ever want to know. You will be the one-eyed man. What does that make you right now? I have no idea. All right, by tomorrow, you will have at least one eye. I guarantee that. Almost everyone here has two, so I'm going to over-deliver, all right? You have at least one eye by tomorrow. The other thing when it comes to being an expert is that K word in blue up there. What's that word? Kaizen. So my ritual, when I decided, like all of you know I was a dating coach before I do this now. I retired from that in 2016, about 3 years ago. I did it for 5 years. I was named the top dating coach in the world in 2014, which literally means nothing. Like, who the fuck cares about the top dating coach in the world? But that was a goal of mine for me when I got started in that business. And I took it online in 2012. That was one of my goals. And I knew for me to be that good, I didn't just have to be good at dating myself. Sounds weird, dating myself, right? To get good at dating others, what must you do first? You must be able to, no, I'm just kidding. Date yourself. Right? But I knew I had to not only be good at it myself, I not only had to be good at it helping others do the same, people of all levels, but I also had to know everything my competitors were teaching also and doing, and I had to know their stuff better than they did themselves. Not only do I have to know my philosophies and my teachings down like perfectly, but I need to know what they're teaching better than they do themselves. That's the only way I'm going to be the best in this market. It's the only way. I just study the crap out of my competitors too, right? And the way that I would do it is I created these note cards, and they had all the most important teachings I thought that I needed to know for helping guys attract better women and better girlfriends and things like that. It's about 50 note cards in the whole thing, right? And on the front, it would have like a little cue, like a note, right? So for instance, it might say strawberries, right? Which would remind me about a whole basically conversation technique we used to teach called strawberry fields or cherry fields. Yeah, cherry farms, that's what we called it. Yeah, right. But I'd have 50 of them, and I would wake up, and what I would do, so the thing is your brain, it learns best. There's two effects called primacy effect and recency effect. Primacy effect states that you remember the first thing you see or hear better than the stuff in the middle. If I gave you 7 numbers or 7 objects to remember right now, you would remember the first one much more likely than you would the second, the third, the fourth, or the fifth, because it was first. All right, that's the primacy effect. Also something called the recency effect, which means you better remember the last thing also. Right? You're really good at remembering the first thing and the last thing. That's how your brain works. All right? So knowing that, I was like, well, what's the first thing I see in the morning? And what's the last thing I see before I go to bed? Right? I should make it the thing I want to remember the best. So what I would do is I would wake up, and still in bed, the first thing I would do is I would just roll over, I'd grab my note cards, and in bed, I would just flip through like 12 of them for a few minutes, refreshing my brain. First thing I see that day, first thoughts I have. And then the last thing I would do before bed, what do you think it would be? Note cards, flip through again, 10 or 15 of them, good, and then I would go to sleep. I did this every single day. And in fact, to this day, I still do this. All right? I don't look at dating note cards anymore. I look at copy, speaking, closing note cards. I look at state note cards. I look at leadership note cards, the key ideas and principles I want to remember and insights. And I just flip through them. Right? Is that a Kaizen mentality? Is that an actual tactic that you can use for Kaizen? Who's going to start doing this? Raise your hand if you will. Good. It works wonders. Like wonders. All right? Especially for someone like me who smokes weed. All right? And memory sucks. All right? Yeah, it's a good way to combat that as well. All right? Best of both worlds. So one-eyed man, and also you're going to do this Kaizen thing. Right? So even if you're not an expert today, you just got to be a little bit better. But if you keep Kaizening, is that gap going to grow over time? Yeah, you're going to become even more of an expert. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3. All right. Some people have some issues with selling. With what? Selling. With selling. And they feel like when I'm selling, I feel weird about it. I feel like I am taking or manipulating someone. Who here has ever felt like this? You feel like you're taking or you're trying to manipulate someone and it doesn't feel good. You don't like that. Good. About half of you here. Good. By the time we're done, that won't be an issue for you anymore. All right? Which is cool. So here's the thing with taking and manipulating and getting stuff that you want. So the first clients I ever had was when I was 15. I was playing basketball every day in the gym, and there'd be other younger kids playing basketball. and their parents would bring them to the gym. So they'd see me playing, doing all my crazy drills, right? And then like they'd see me, right, as a demonstration, like this guy's good at basketball, maybe he could teach my kids. And then their kids would shoot at hoops next to me. And I'd talk to their kids because I was friendly, and I'd help the kids with a couple drills. I'd be like, yo, dude, I'll show you how to do this one, and I'd show them a move or something like that. And then their parents would see, and their parents would come up to me, and they'd be like, that was so cool, like you showed my son, my daughter, whatever. Could you train them? Right? And I was like, yeah, I could do that. How much? Right? And I didn't know anything about pricing. I was just like, $15, right? $15 for an hour. And they're like, okay, cool. Right? I probably could have gotten way more. I could have gotten like $17 back then. Who knows? Right? But that's how I got my first clients. That was it. What did I do? In order to get, what did I do first? I gave. Right? I also showed a demonstration that I knew I was, like, I actually am good at this. I gave a demonstration, which is an important part of selling. I helped the kid. I demonstrated my expertise. But I gave to the kid. I gave first in order to get. I believe that you make more money, you get more money, equivalent to how much value you give to the world first. Right? So that's why, like, if your income isn't where you want it to be yet, then you need to do a gut check on how much you've been giving, because you haven't been given enough. We get rewarded by how much we give, not how much we get. So you're not taking and manipulating. Like, selling isn't taking and manipulating. It's giving. Right? And the way that I sell, the way that I go about this, is I call it lead with the giving hand. If you want to feel better about selling and getting clients and doing all this stuff, what you really should do is you should go to that prospect and you should just give them something of value first and want nothing in return. Start to lubricate that relationship. Start to build rapport that way. Give them something useful and want nothing in return. For instance, if you were doing Instagram, give them 7 days of photos and captions to use for free. Give them a zip drive. I made this for you. I'm a big fan of your business. I wanted you to have it. Please use it. Here's my card if you ever want to reach me. But frankly, I want nothing in return. I just really appreciate what you guys do. How do you think that person might respond? It's not going to be negative. Are they going to be like, let's do a deal? I don't know. But will they be receptive the next time you follow up? Totally. Because you led with what? The giving hand. How did I get Dan Pena to speak at the High Status Summit? How did I get there? I didn't pay it. He flew from Scotland. I paid for his hotel, but he paid for his flight. Like, didn't pay him anything to speak. His time? Yeah. How? How did I do that? Do you think I did this? Think I led with the giving hand first? Yeah. Right? So first of all, I went to his seminar. So I gave him 25 grand for that. Right? Is that giving? Yeah. Totally, right? And then when I was there, I already had an audience. My dating business was still going back then. So I hit up my entire email list and all my dating people, and I said, hey guys, I'm at this seminar with Dan Pena. Can you go follow him on Facebook and YouTube and leave him a comment and tell him how grateful you are that he's now coaching Jason. He's mentoring Jason. And he got like hundreds of comments on YouTube. They all said the same thing. Anyone in this room actually post one of those comments? Eric, nice. Give Eric some love. 1, 2, 3. I love it. Yeah. And then I went to the seminar the next day, like the day after the YouTube thing, and in the middle of the seminar, he goes, who's this fucking Jason guy? And I was like, me? And he was like, my assistant was telling me about you. Said you all these fucking, he was making fun of my clients, saying that they can't get laid, basically. All right. But, because he's Dan Pena. But then he was like, I think it's really cool what you're doing. He was like, and I could tell he really appreciated that I had opened up my audience to look at him, right? I'd given him part of my audience, and now, in fact, like, Eric, did you start following Dan Pena after that?
I'm going to the castle this year.
And now you're going to the castle this year. And I've since sent, I don't know how many of my clients have now gone to Dan Pena's seminar because I went there first, right? Actually, one of them, who's at Power Speaker, Stanley, he had just gotten back from Scotland. He just went. He's one of many. So have I given to Dan Pena a lot? So when I went for the ask and said, hey, do you want to speak at this thing? I didn't know if he was going to say yes or no. I wasn't going to reject myself first. I was going to let him reject me. I'm glad with that. Much better someone else reject me than me reject myself, right? So I asked him, and amazingly, he was like, yeah. right? In fact, I didn't even think I could get him. So I emailed his assistant and I said, I want to get the big projectors and I want to do a live Zoom call with him and we'll put his face, he'll be like huge. He'll love it, right? His ego will love it. It'll be a huge projector thing and we'll do a live Q&A, a live stream to the summit. So people come up, will ask questions and then Dan will talk to them from Scotland, right? And she goes, we could totally do that or he could just come. Which do you want? I was like, yep, he's coming. Sounds good, right? So we lead with the giving hand. You're not, like, if you ever feel like you are taking or manipulating when you're selling, it's because you are taking and manipulating when you are selling. And you need to stop and go, maybe I should stop trying to get and I should start giving. This is the biggest problem people have in relationships too. People in relationships are always focused on what I'm not getting from my partner. That's not what a relationship is. A relationship is, what can I give to my partner today? You guys realize you only suffer when you're thinking about yourself? You only suffer when you think about yourself. When you're thinking about giving to others, helping other people meet their needs, you feel great, you're contributing, you're useful. And amazingly, when you start doing that for others, what do they start doing for you? Same fucking thing. Yeah, this is why relationships start to go 1 + 1 = 11, not 1 + 1 = 2. Like in my relationship, this is really hard for me because I have this pattern of always focusing on what I'm not getting. She's not doing this isn't happening, but I need to train myself more to think about what of her needs am I meeting, am I not meeting, right? And when I get back in that mindset and I start giving and just focusing on contributing, the most amazing thing happens. All the things I wanted in the first place, I actually just start getting. And greater amounts than I thought I would. So, really, really important, right? If you ever catch yourself feeling like you're taking and manipulating, it's because you are, and you need to switch it and go back to how can I add value to this person's life and want nothing in return. That's the key. Because if you give with expectation, are you really giving? No, you're transacting. That's a transaction. That's different, right? We give without wanting anything in return. So that's 3. Number 4, all right? And this is really, really hard for a lot of people, is delayed results. And listen, I'm real as fuck with you guys, right? I'm guilty of this too. Because me and all these asshole marketers out here, what do we promise you? Yeah, you're going to be rich tonight. Get rich quick, right? Now, we can say that stuff when we're selling because we have at least some students who have done that. So we can say that it's possible that you will also get this result. You could be doing this and this and this too. And it's true because other people have done that, right? But does it mismanage expectations? Totally, right? Now, here's the dichotomy. I'm just going to be, I'm perfectly honest with you guys. When you guys are selling, I think that you should do the same thing to your prospects, right? I think you should promise them the best possible result that someone else has gotten. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right? You should. Because I promise you, if you're not, your competitors are. And that client is probably going to sign with them instead of you. That's just the truth. Right? Don't make up. Don't promise any result further than something that someone else has gotten that you've worked with. But don't go any less either. Right? So part of the issue is it feels like delayed results because you're like, that student, he's like, I'm the Facebook group. Sandra, she's got so many clients. Who here ever looks at Sandra in the Facebook group and you're like, how the fuck is she doing it? Raise your hand. A few of you. Yeah, Sandra's a beast. Right? She's a beast. She was doing 20K before she was done with EIE. Before she was done with EIE. And she had 4 clients in the first 21 days or something. All right? Beast mode. Right? Total beast mode. Did you guys see that post she made about when her phone broke? Yeah. Raise your hand if you saw the phone post. Yeah, how amazing is that story? So the story, those of you who don't know, Sandra was on the phone. She was leaving her house. And she got distracted with coffee or something, and she placed her phone on her car. And before she realized it, she got in the car and started to drive away with the phone still on the roof. And she drives half a mile and realizes, oh, fuck, where's my phone? Goes back to her house, finds it on the ground, smashed to pieces. She drove over her own phone. And then she thought, she said, what would Jason do? Right? How can I turn this into lemonade? She took the phone and then she went to every business that hadn't responded to her phone calls or emails, and she said, I need to see the owner, the decision maker right now. Put her phone on the table and she said, we need to talk about this. And you know what the gatekeeper did? Oh shit, yeah, let me get him. I'm sorry, 1 second. She closed 3 clients that day. And those were clients who hadn't responded to her, who probably fit in this box right here. All right? How many of us with a broken phone would have thought to do that? You think Sandra's in a good state when she thought of that? Yeah, Sandra's on top of her state. I promise you that. All right, I promise you that. So, yeah, it's people like Sandra, right? She's making everyone all pissed off about their delayed results. It's her fault. All right, it's not me. It's her fault, all right? No, it's a mismanagement of expectations is what it is. But here's the thing, all right? I like to think about the stone cutter in relation to this. All right, now, I have never cut a stone, but I've been told a story about a stone cutter, which said that the stone cutter will take its axe at the stone, and it will swing on the first swing, and it goes hard at that stone. And what does that stone do? No, it doesn't split. Nothing happens. Not even a piece of gravel falls off. Nothing happens. And then he swings again, second time. Then he swings again a third time, and a fourth time, and a fifth time. And he keeps swinging. And every time he swings, nothing happens to the stone. 95 and 96 and 97 and 98 and 99. And on that 100 swing, he comes down, and finally, the whole thing splits open. 99 swings, 0 positive feedback. 100 swing, the whole thing opens up for him. All right? This is how you have to approach your business. When you're going at it and you're swinging that axe and you're not getting any of the positive responses that you want, what do you have to do? You have to keep swinging. You have to keep swinging that axe. Because on one of those swings, even though it doesn't look like it, every swing that you've been making has been making a puncture somewhere in that stone. It's been lowering its resistance. Until eventually, even though it looks like nothing's changed, you've gone 99 times, nothing's worked, that last swing, the whole thing erupts open for you. Okay? The stone cutter mentality. So, one of my good friends is Elliot Hulse, as I said before. Raise your hand if you know or follow Elliot. Okay, cool. Yeah, love Elliot, all right? He's spoken at my summit, I think 2 or 3 times now. Should he speak again next year? Yes. That was a very quick yes. All right. The tribe has spoken. Elliot will speak. Elliot right now on YouTube, I believe he's got something like 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Who here would like 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube? Yeah, why not, right? You're like, I can monetize those, I think. 2.5 million. Elliot has been on YouTube, I believe, since 2007. All right, it is now 2019. And he's at that's 2.5 million, that says, so 2019, right? That's where he is today. He started at 0. In 2012 is when he hit 1 million. Right? 1 million, would you guys agree 1 million on YouTube, that's kind of like you've made it? Kind of like a fucking celebrity now? Yeah, right? 1 million. This is 2012. His first 4 years on YouTube were like this. In fact, he had less than 40,000 subscribers on YouTube in 2011. Who wants that to happen in their life? Yeah, it's called a hockey stick, right? The thing is, Elliot from 2007 to 2011, he made videos every week. He would post 3 or 4 or 5 videos every single week. Every week, 7, 8, 9, 10, every week. And subscribers stayed really, really low. It never got up. He just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And then in 2011, there was a big YouTube channel called the Hodge Twins. Raise your hand if you know the Hodge Twins. Yeah, there's these twin bodybuilding comedians. They're really funny, right? But they posted a video. They were like, my back got hurt lifting weights. I went on YouTube and I found this guy named Elliot and he showed me some exercise in a video and it fixed my back, right? And you guys should go follow him. And instantly, you know what happened to Elliot's subscriber count? Went through the roof, right? He went up to like 100,000 in like a week. And then all of a sudden, he had traction and he had momentum. And in less than a year, he was at 1 million. And now, he's at 2.5 million on YouTube. What if he had stopped making a video at any point during those first 4 years? Would you have any of this today? No. Not a chance. So if you're like, I only have a couple hundred followers, no one's really listening, so you're building. You're swinging at that stone, you're not getting feedback, so what? Just because the stone doesn't look like it's cracking, is it cracking on the inside? Yeah, you just have to keep swinging. Is that helpful for you guys? Yes. Cool. Let's keep going. All right, let's keep rocking this. So the next one, all right, it's a big one, right? Friends and family, right, who don't believe in you, right? Friends and family who don't necessarily believe in you the way that you would want them to, okay? I asked before, I was like, who here told you that this kind of thing was a scam? Almost every hand went up, right? Almost every hand. My question for you is that person who told you it's a scam, do they have a life that you want? No. So strong. That was like the strongest no of the day. No, they don't have a life you want. What do we say, right? If you don't want their life, don't take their advice. Right? If you don't want their life, don't take their advice. And yet we listen to all these people who know nothing. Like we're like sitting at the dinner table, a big family dinner, and we're like, yeah, I'm thinking about starting a business. And your uncle, who's only failed at 6 businesses, is like, no, that won't work. Let me tell you why. And then he tells you, and you're like, oh shit, maybe he's right. And it never occurs to you, he's never successfully started a business. And yet you're listening to him like he's an expert on business. Like he's Richard Branson or something. Right? Unless your uncle's Richard Branson, I mean, come on here, right? The way I like to think about it is when you are starting your business and you're taking off, you're like a rocket ship, right, at the start. And when a rocket ship is taking off at the start, is it loud? Does it make a lot of noise? And imagine all those people who are on the outside of a gate watching that rocket ship take off, right? Imagine a mother with her 8-year-old son watching this NASA rocket ship take off. And it's starting to get loud, and explosions are starting to come out, and it's starting to take off. And he wants to like go closer to see it more up front. He's like, oh, I want to see it. This is so cool. And she's like, no, stay away. It's dangerous. It's too loud. You could get hurt. That's not for you. And so the rocket ship takes off, and the boy never gets closer, right? You are that rocket ship when you are taking off. You're like making noise. You got these flames coming out of you. You're like in this explosion. And everyone around you is like, no, like stay away. Take it easy. Hold back. You just have to understand, like, how uncomfortable was it for everyone when I said stand up and sit down, stand up and sit down, right? You didn't even want to do that. We don't like change. So if you are starting to change your life, you're starting to change your business, you're starting to do something different, do you think that's scary for the people around you who don't like change? What happens if you actually succeed at this? What happens to your relationship with them? Is it changed forever? Forever. Do you think they're aware of that? They are more aware of it than you will ever know. Because to you, you're like, listen, I don't know if I'm going to succeed. I just want to fucking try. I just want to go for it. But to them, they don't think that. They give you more credit than you probably deserve. They're like, oh, he's going to fucking do it. She's going to do it. I can already see it. They're going to have a nicer car, a bigger house. For family dinners, we're going to have to go to their house because their house is nicer now. They're going to pick up the bill when we go out to eat, right? I can't even argue with them on that anymore, right? They don't want that. They see all that. They don't want that. I wish I could say like wouldn't it be great if you're like, I'm starting my own business, everyone around you was like, fuck yeah. How can I help? Wouldn't that be great? It's not going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. So you just need to remember, like, you are that rocket ship taking off. And like, yeah, long term, they do want what's best for you. But in the short term, again, they're probably kind of stuck in that autopilot mode, that victim mode. And a big part of it is the victim mode. Because if they were not in victim mode, and you were starting your own business, they would go, I could do that too. But if they're like, I can't, if they think they're a victim, they think they can't change their situation, circumstances define them, they can't start their own business, and they see you doing it, now they feel helpless. Wow, that person, I thought he was a victim. He's not. He's actually going for it. Fuck, I guess I'm the only victim here. And now I feel alone, and now I feel negative, and now I feel jealous. So I'm going to project, and I'm going to try and keep them down. Instead of pick myself up, I'd rather keep them down because it's easier. All right? And again, I don't like resentment is not a good thing to carry. It's not a good thing to have. It's not going to help you or anybody. It's not good for your state, right? It's more about understanding. If you understand why they're saying what they're saying, is it easier for you to not let it affect you anymore, yes or no?
Yes.
Is everyone kind of a better understanding of these kind of the people around you who maybe are kind of pulling you down? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Just making sure. Okay, next. We got 3 more. All right, and then we're going to take a quick break. So, go red. The next one is that there's no safety net. Right? There's no safety net. It's not safe. Quotations, right? It's not safe. And that's a myth. We talked about that before, isn't it? Why is safe a myth? Who can tell me? Why is safe a myth? Why is the idea that like a normal job and a normal degree and all that stuff is safe and starting your own business, growing your own business, building your own life is not? Yes?
Because you can argue that it's more safe to own the machine to be a cog in the machine.
But why is it safer to take the normal route than it is to start your own business and do your own thing?
It's not, because you can get fired.
You can get fired. Right, you can get fired. What else?
You can die eventually. Everyone's
Well, of course, yeah, we're all going to die. Right? Well, and unfortunately, Ben Franklin, right, he said, most people die at 75, but most stop living at 25. Right? Yeah, Osho said most people settle into a grave-like existence long before the grave. Right? Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Of course. Yeah, anything can happen. You guys ever heard of hit by a bus fallacy? Yeah. It says you get hit by a bus anytime you want. Right? Yeah, who knows? Right? There could be a thunderous hurricane headed for Miami right now. Right? You never know. The idea is like that this is safe and that's not. It's all BS. Right? The other thing is like if that's really that big a thing, why not be very logical about it? Keep your job, right? 9 to 5, and then from 6 to 11 every night, work on your business. There's nothing wrong with that to start. That's safe. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? The other thing is like, I always think about this, these 2 circles, right? And in here is the comfort zone, and out here is what we call the courage zone. And I am always doing my best to try and live in the courage zone and not in the comfort zone. And do we know the difference, yes or no, between the courage zone and the comfort zone?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you know when you are living courageously, yes or no?
Yes.
Do you also know when you're not living courageously, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, we know it. Now the people around you, do you feel like some of them maybe are stuck here in the comfort zone? Raise your hand if you feel like sometimes you actually let yourself get stuck in that zone too. Yeah, it eats away at us, I'm telling you, right? That's where taking control of our state plays such a big role, right? Because before I get caught in the comfort zone sometimes. And when I do, you know what I do? First, I don't just jump. I have to change my state. I have to. Like, that's the onboarding process. So everything I want is my state. I change my state. And all of a sudden, once I change my state, guess what? I want to go to the courage zone. You guys notice when you're like chilling on the couch in the comfort zone, you want to stay there? Right? That's called inertia. Things in motion tend to stay in motion. Things not in motion tend to stay not in motion. It's inertia. You're couch locked. You want to stay there. Right? Sitting on that couch chilling, I'm not like, oh, I want to dominate the world. I can't wait to just do everything. No. Right? I'm just like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next in this next episode of House of Cards or some shit, right? But then I change my state. I get up from the couch and I go, let's go! And now, guess what? I'm already living courageously. I'm like, fuck this Netflix shit. Let's go. Let's crush this. Let's do this. Let's build this project. Let's go here. Like, we can do all these incredible things. Because I changed my state. All right? Courage zone versus the comfort zone. And then the other side of this is like, I don't want a safety net. I want skills. Skills are my safety. You could put me anywhere on the planet right now. I don't know anyone. I have no name, no credibility, nothing. Does anyone here even second guess for a second that I couldn't at least have one client by the end of the day? As long as I have my skills, could I get a client that day? 100%. I probably have more. You could put me anywhere. I have clients. All those people we named before who all have copy, closing, speaking. Do you think I could put them anywhere? And no one knows who they are, but they just have their skills. Do you think they can make you money by the end of the day? Yeah. Guaranteed. Skills are my safety net. Right? Skills are my safety net. Because of skills, a few years ago, I was going to Vegas, right, for a weekend. I used to spend a lot of time in Vegas, as some of you know. I used to party a lot, right? And it was like Thursday, and I'm thinking about going to Vegas for 3 days this weekend. This is going to be really fun. But for some reason, I was like, I don't want to pay for it. I'd rather have someone else pay for it. You guys ever pay for something and you'd be like, you know what, it'd be great if someone else was paying for this? Raise your hand if you ever felt that way. Fuck yeah, why not, right? I was like, I don't want to pay for it, right? And I really want to party. Like, I want to stay in a penthouse. I want to go to the clubs. I want to buy bottles. I want to go to pool parties, buy bottles. I want to rage, right? So here's what I did. I mapped out a product that I knew my audience wanted, and then I recorded a 60-second audio on my phone talking about that product. This was when I was in dating, and the product was about charisma. I knew my audience wanted to know about how to be more charismatic. So I recorded a 60-second kind of seminar on audio about everything I've learned about how to become the most charismatic version of yourself. And then I went outside in my backyard, I took my phone, and I recorded a 5-minute sales video selling the audio I just recorded. I then posted the video online. I emailed my list. I told them to watch the video, which sold the product. And within 24 hours, I made over $13,000. Then I took that 13 grand, and what do you think I did? I went to Vegas. Yeah, and I had a great time. Penthouse, clubs, bottles, it was great. Hangover, not as good, but the weekend was fun. And it was great also because I didn't pay for it. My audience did. Who here would love it if you had an audience that just paid for all your whims? Yeah, you're shopping, you're like, damn, I really want that jacket. 1 second. Hey guys, new product, buy this shit. Wait. All right, PayPal. All right, jacket, all right? Don't do that, okay? But that was based on my skills. The reason I could do that in less than 90 minutes was because copy, closing, and speaking, right? I knew what to say that was copy. I knew how to say it that was closing. And I had the stories to tell. I knew how to teach the stuff because of speaking. Does that make sense, yes or no?
Yes.
Does that seem a little bit safer bet than a job that someone else could fire you from at any given moment?
Yes.
Yeah, so much so, right? If you want to know the way, the surest formula to making money for the rest of your life, high income skills plus an audience. That's it. If you have an audience and high income skills, there is, not only will you make a lot of money, but whenever you need more money, because a wife will throw curveballs at you, you just go back to that audience and you lead with the giving hand, but you copy and you close and you speak, cha-ching. All right? And long term, some of you in here probably just want to make 3 or 5 or 7K a month doing like service businesses like IG Agent or EIE or stuff for people. But some of you probably want to use it now as like it's the first step for you, right? There's like a ladder. It's the first step of the ladder. You want to go bigger. You want to do more. And if you want to go bigger and you want to do more, that's like where you're going, just so you know. Building an audience and then using high income skills to help and monetize. Okay? So let's get 2 more here. All right, 2 more here. So no safety net. Skills. Right? Skills. Whew, next one's important. All right? Helplessness. Right? Helplessness. What is helplessness? What is learned helplessness? What is that? So here's what learned helplessness is. All right? They would train elephants, or like baby elephants and adult elephants, with a rope. You think an elephant can break a rope? Pull from a rope? Yeah. Right? So if you ever go to a circus and you saw behind back when they could have elephants and stuff like that, I think animal abuse doesn't allow it anymore. But back when they did, what they would do is you would see a big ass adult elephant with a rope around its leg tied to a chair. Can that elephant pull a chair?
Yes.
Yes, 100%. But it won't. Why? Because next to that adult elephant, you will see a baby elephant that is also ropes around its leg, but it is tied to some poles that are deep, deep into the ground. That no matter how hard he tries to pull away, he will not get away from those poles. Why is it the baby elephant needs all this extra effort and the adult elephant just needs a chair to hold it down? Conditioning. Because that adult elephant, when it was a baby, was tied to that pole. And when it tried to run away or anything, it didn't work. And it learned over time, running away doesn't work. So I may as well just stay here. So eventually, circus owners don't need all that extra work for it. Once it's learned that it can't do this thing, it never tries again. All they do is put a rope next to a chair, and it's not going to try to move. In life, when we were younger, we had a lot of ropes tied to our legs. And we tried to run away from stuff, or do stuff, or build stuff. And it didn't work, or we pulled in and we didn't get what we wanted, and so we never go back and we never try again. That's learned helplessness. And it is a virus. All right, we have to realize as adults, we are way more resourceful than we ever realized. All right, when you're in a negative state, do you feel really powerful? No, right? You feel resourceless is what you feel like. But when you put yourself in a really empowered state, a really good state, how do you feel? Do you feel resourceful? Like you can do anything, yes or no? Yes. 100%, right? 100%. So the solution between helplessness isn't like, it is state, right? But the mindset I like to think about is growth versus fixed. So I'm going to give you another book recommendation. If you haven't read this book already, it is called Mindset by Carol Dweck. D-W-E-C-K. This is one of the most important books you will ever read. Mindset by Carol Dweck. And in it, she talks about the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. All right? Now, a growth mindset, for instance, about skills, I have it on my phone. I just want to read you the infographic real quick. When it comes to skills, a person with a growth mindset says, skills come from hard work and I can always improve my skills. Would you guys agree with that, yes or no? Yes. Person with a fixed mindset, meaning, well, as you'll see, when a person with a fixed mindset thinks about skills, they think skills are something you're born with, you can't improve them. Challenges. Growth mindset thinks challenges should be embraced, this is an opportunity to grow. Person with the fixed mindset says challenges are something to avoid and it could easily reveal a lack of skill. So I'll avoid them. Person with the growth mindset on effort thinks effort is essential. It is the path to mastery. Fixed mindset person says effort is unnecessary. Effort is only something you do when you're not good enough. When I played basketball in high school, I outworked every one of my teammates, right? And they would say to me, the only reason you work so hard is because you suck. And it was true, I sucked back then. When I started, I sucked. Right? But I knew I wasn't outworking them because I sucked. I was outworking them because I was going to get better than them and I was going to play in college one day. Right? Like, the idea that you only have to work at things you aren't good at is stupid. I think it's stupid when I see people in relationships who don't work on their relationship. People are like, 'cause I am always working on my relationship with my girlfriend. We're always working on it and getting it better. Always. We're going to seminars, we take courses, we're always doing that kind of stuff. When I tell people that, they're like, wow, you guys must really have a lot of issues. I'm like, no. No. The relationship is good because we work on it, right? We're not repairing anything, we're optimizing. You guys see the difference? Right? You don't work on things when they aren't working or when they're broken. You work on things because you want them to be better, always. Right? So, like, when we understand the growth mindset, we realize there is no help in this. We are always working on it. We can always get better. Right? We can always, always, always get better. Is this very closely related to the Kaizen mentality? Yeah, totally. All right, one more. All right, one more. And you might not have expected it, but there's this last block, and it's called the fear of being successful. Right? Or the fear of success. So I want everyone here to have something you can write down with. Make sure you have it. I'm going to read a sentence to you. All I want you to do is fill in the blank with whatever word your brain comes up with. Now, I do not want you to write what you want me to hear or what you think is the right answer. We're trying to do a deep dive into your subconscious here. All right, so whatever the first word that your brain serves up, that's the word you write down. Does that make sense? Yes? Yes. All right, so the first sentence I want you to write down, or the first sentence I want you to fill in the blank is this. Close your eyes for a second. I'm going to say it out loud. And then first word your brain comes up with, that's the word you write down. One good thing about not having money is, write it down. Close your eyes again. Here's the second sentence. Rich people are and the last one, close your eyes. Money is the root of all okay. What did you put for the first one? Who wants to share? Dave.
Opportunity.
Opportunity. One good thing about not having money is opportunity. What do you mean?
There's blue sky opportunity for growth.
So you don't have money, so there's an opportunity to grow. That's a very positive mindset about money. Good. All right. I don't expect them all to be good like that, and that's okay. If yours, like, put it this way, if yours was like you put it down and you're like fuck, or like damn, I want to hear those. All right. I like those ones. Yes.
Not having problems.
One good thing about not having money is not having problems. Anyone else have anything similar to that? Interesting. Here's what's weird. If your brain believes that money equals problems, will it work extra hard to make more money? No. It will actually avoid making money, won't it? You will pull your money punches when the time comes because you don't want problems. It's a belief we need to change, right? What else do you put? Yeah.
Welfare checks.
One good thing about not having money is welfare checks. Yeah, because if you have money, you can't collect welfare anymore. Do you think someone like that is going to work really hard to make a lot of money? No. What else? Yeah.
Relationships.
One good thing about not having money is relationships. Meaning if I have money, I won't have the relationships I have anymore. Do you think human beings value relationships? Yeah. So if you get money, you lose something incredibly valuable. Are you going to work extra hard to make more money? No. One more. Back table. Yes. What'd you put?
I put that I get to be comfortable.
Comfortable. Anyone else have anything like comfortable? A couple of you? Yeah. If I have money, I get to be comfortable. Meaning if I get money, what happens?
There's a lot more challenges.
Uncomfortable. Yeah. Do you think if like the human brain is like constantly searching for ways to be uncomfortable? No, it's the exact opposite. Right? All these little beliefs we have, how they got there, it doesn't matter, but they're all there, and they're all literally like stopping you from making more money. What about the second one? Rich people are, what'd you put? Someone who hasn't shared yet. What'd you put? Yeah.
I put helpful.
Rich people are helpful. That's good.
In order to get rich, I had to give value.
Damn straight. Good. That's a good one. Yeah. Cool. Nice. Rich people are cool. What else? Yeah.
I put nice.
Rich people are nice. Good. Those are good beliefs about rich people. Yeah.
These are all positive things, but like
Yeah.
the kind of the
What'd you put?
was conditioned in my experience was evil.
Evil. Rich people are evil. Anyone have anything similar to that? Greedy, evil, mean, assholes, anything like that? Few of you? Yeah. If you think rich people are evil, what are the chances you're going to become one? Does anyone here have like a deep longing to be seen as evil? I don't think so. Right? I don't think so. What about that last one?
I put evil for that one.
Evil.
Yeah.
Evil. Money is the root of all evil. Who else put evil for that last one? Yeah, we've all heard that one. Right? You guys know the original quote, of course, is the love of money is the root of all evil. Right? It's not money is the root of all evil. That's the original quote. The love of money is the root of all evil. If you think money is the root of all evil, how hard are you going to pursue money? Even if you say you want to pursue it. This is like, imagine there's a man riding an elephant. Your conscious brain is the man. Your unconscious brain is the elephant. Who leads, an elephant or a man? The elephant. Who thinks it's leading? Yes. That is your conscious and unconscious brain. Yes.
Think about money can't buy happiness. What do you think about that?
You don't know where to shop. That's a Dan Pena quote. Yeah. What else you put? Money is the root of all what? Guess. Freedom. I like that one. That's actually true. Yeah, that's true. Good. One more. Yeah.
Power.
Money is the root of all power. That's good. I like that one.
Motivation.
Money is the root of all motivation. What do you mean?
If you want something, it costs money. I mean, in this world, you gotta have money to do a lot of things.
Is money really motivating to you?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, that's not a negative one.
Yeah, it's not.
It might be. I don't have time to dig that deep into it. Yeah. You want to share?
Yeah, money is the root of all growth.
Is that what you put?
I actually put something else. I just thought of growth.
What did you put?
Just put good. Like money is the root of all good.
Money is the root of all good. Interesting. That's a good belief. Right, when we're doing these, we're looking for the negative ones. Because if you put a negative one down in yours for any of them, I just want you to realize that is a program that is running behind the scenes. That is the elephant running the show when you're the man thinking you're running the show. And that elephant, that belief, that negative belief is probably stopping you in a lot of ways from making more money. Right? And this is what, when they say the fear of success, this is really what they mean. Because people have beliefs. When I become successful, all these bad things could happen. Who here believes that if you become successful, you all of a sudden become a target? If you become a target, is that good or bad? Probably not good. Right? It certainly depends how you look at it. It always depends how you look at it. But if you're just on autopilot and you're like, oh, if I become successful, I'll become a target, you're not going to work that hard to become successful. You just will not. Because you don't want to be a target. It's easier to be anonymous than it is to be a public figure. So I just won't do it. All this shit, it's like you're driving down the highway with your emergency brake on. You need to release the brakes. All right, you need to release the brakes. So the solution for this is, and I do a whole workshop on this. We did it in Kaizen and it was great. Here's what I want you to do. All right, just think about it. This isn't going to work perfectly because I don't have the sheets with me. But what I want you to do is think about shovels. Right? Now, are shovels a practical tool for humans? Very practical. Right? Let's say that your landlord dies and for some reason you have to dig their grave. Right? That was part of the contract you signed with them. Okay? Weird contract. It was in Transylvania. But you have no shovels. And you have to dig with your hands. How long is that going to take? Forever. Yeah, you might die. Right? Forever. But you grab a shovel, you can bang that out in a day. Right? Very practical tool. Money, also a practical tool. If I need to get to Puerto Rico, I can just spend money and then some guy who is trained at flying will fly me there. Yes or no? Yes. Very practical tool. Money's a practical tool. Shovels are a practical tool. Yet why is it when we talk about money, we have all these deep-seated emotional beliefs about them, but shovels, we could care less. They're both practical tools in life. In fact, what would happen is if in those sentences you replace the word money with shovels and then you reread that sentence. Like, for instance, shovels are the root of all what?
Efficiency.
What did you say? I'm saying, yeah, she gets it. Look at the one you wrote. What did you write for number 3?
Evil.
Shovels are the root of all evil. Shovels are the root of all evil.
Have you seen that video? Shovel Girl?
What's that?
The Shovel Girl?
I've not seen a shovel girl, no. Right? One good thing about not having shovels is what? What'd you put for that first answer? What'd you put? One good thing about not having shovels is I don't have problems. Right? If I don't have shovels, I got problems. I don't want shovels. More shovels, more problems. That's what Biggie said. That's what he said. That was that song. Right? Like, so I just want to kind of loosen the jar and show you, like, wait, I have all these deep emotional bullshit about a practical tool, right? If you're going to apply that much negative emotion or just emotion to a practical tool that is a green paper, then you have to be consistent and apply the same emotional stuff to all the practical tools, including shovels. Otherwise, you're just inconsistent. Or you could just release the brakes. Just drop the emotional beliefs about all the practical tools and just see them for what they are, which is what? practical tools. It's just a practical tool.
They both leverage shovels and money.
Yeah, tons of leverage,
Yeah.
right? For some reason, the love of one is evil and the love of the other is odd, right? So there's something you guys to start thinking about, right? Like, don't worry about, like, shovels. That's the solution. All right? Like, literally, what I train a lot of my mastermind clients to do, and a lot of, like, my coaching clients, is don't call it money anymore. Just call it shovels. At least in your mind, just call it shovels. So you're going to go to lunch in a little bit, and you see a sandwich is like $12. No, 12 shovels.
How many shovels is that?
Yeah, how many shovels? You're like, oh, did you bring any shovels with you? Oh, have any? Right, just think about shovels. Right, you're buying something online, it's like $300, but you need it. Right? Yeah, don't think it's $300. Be like, it's just 300 shovels. You do that. Right, it's just 300 shovels. You'll notice just by changing the word, the impact is lessened so much. And now you're free to operate at your full capacity. Is that cool? Yes? Yes. Yeah, I think that's fucking cool as shit. All right, cool. So let's recap here real quick. Did we really just reframe and show you guys the truth about a lot of important blocks that a lot of people have? Yes. If this was helpful for you, say yes. Yes. Okay, good. That was the kind of yes I like. All right, that was perfect.